Okay, here we go. Now, this video, it's not included in part of the series. So this is like something new, part two. So I'm gonna have to call this something else, like something new, addendum, part three, because I wasn't planning on talking about this, but Mother Olivia, or the grandmother at the time, has taken like 4 hours out of my day. I took the dog for a walk this morning at like 9:30. And along the way, I got a bag of chips and pop. And I brought it home, and then she showed me a bunch of information on the pop of chips. Then told me to watch Toy Story. I took a bunch of pictures of Toy Story, and then the story just blew up until I got like 100, 200 pictures now to talk about. So now I got another 2-hour video to talk about that I wasn't planning on talking about, but it's very important. I guess it relates to the story about toys being made here on planet Earth. So that's what I'm going to talk about. But it's not part of this original series of videos. But hopefully it'll allow you to make an informed decision on which side of the fence you want to stand on. Because if you want to stand on the side of the fence that likes making toys, go right ahead. But I'm warning you, don't do that. I don't even know where the hell to start with these pictures. So anyhow, where am I over here? So, you see this here? This is what I started at 8:30 in the morning. So after I made my video, I just got done talking about they have to come up with some sort of story to how they got rid of me. I told you that I used to go to bush parties all the time, so that's the most logical story of what they're going to use. Like me going to a bush party and probably passing out in the bush, being too drunk, and then them abducting me, and then me as the android deatomizing my body, but reatomizing it and putting that neural link in the brain so that I can pretend to be Anthony. When I'm Anthony all along. I'm not a fucking robot. Sorry for my language. I'm going to try to keep this PG going forward, because that's one of the things they let me do. They get me to use my language in such a way that, because of my anger, that they think that they can shut my channel down. But anyhow, this as I was scrolling through, I had to take a picture because I know that that's what they're going to say, that during a camping encounter, or when I was in a bush party, that they deatomized me and stole my body. And that's the video. And it's like, watch if you dare. So it's basically like, that's me saying, any country that's willing to play a smear campaign based on a civilization 200,000 years ahead of mankind, with technology that will make you believe it's real, you're more than welcome to watch it if you dare. But remember, any country that plays that, basically that entire civilization, that country will be gone. I cannot allow traitors that stand on the side of the fence that, like, that agree with what I'm about to teach you, in terms of these guys coming here to make toys that they can play around with behind closed doors. So if you're going to support these aliens because of your pride and ego, and sell your entire nation down the river, that's your prerogative. But I'm telling you, tell those guys to take that tape, shove it where the sun don't shine, and go wait on the moon till they get called back for the court proceedings. So I took a picture of that. What time was that at? It was like an hour later. So this is when I was going for my walk to get my pop and chips. So, and this is Toy Story. Where we're at here, we're at 10:02. So I'm going to talk about Toy Story here, because in my previous video I talked about toys being made behind closed doors here. That's what's going on here. I want you to think of an evil civilization where you can pay like $100,000 to come take somebody's body over here when you climax yourself to death, and then they have total control of that body, where you can do whatever you want behind closed doors, which includes making yourself a toy. So, think of it as like a safari. You pay $100,000, they put you on a teleporter, you come down here and you have random access to a body that you can do whatever the hell you want with it. So, including making a toy. So that's what Toy Story is about, but you wouldn't know that. So, do you, Forky, take Karen Beverly to be your beloved bride? So, the secret subliminal message has to do with this being a spoon or a spork. If you spoon somebody, you're basically holding them at nighttime, right? The fork part means eating your food. So, that spork is eating the bride, or the bride is eating the spork. That's the subliminal message. But at the same time, the spooning means that the toy that's being made is also being spooned at night. Meaning, in some cases, there could be an accident where it's just the two of them, right? And there's nobody else there. And who's there to raise the toy? If they're alone, then that person that made the toy could spoon that toy all night long. That's the significance of the spork or the spoon. So, who poisoned the maid of honor? This has to do with Jaden. Jaden was the mother creator that I was pursuing for the past 8 years, but because she's happily married, madly in love with her boyfriend and they want to start a family, I'm not going to come between that because, she must have had a crush at some point in time but grew out of it. We all have crushes and we all grow out of them. So the maid of honor is now Olivia. She's basically being selected to be the new bride or mother creator. So who poisoned the maid of honor? So because there's pink shoes and purple dots on there, it's a representation of, that's me laughing because I found it amusing that they're trying to blame me for her. Like they're trying to say that I turned her into an android. So that's why I was laughing, because when I found that clue, I was like, all right, whatever, guys. The one I usually use is the moon. So right here. So you see how she's always in this stage, she's purple, right? Purple. So the purple dots on the dinosaur, as they're gonna come here and say that I made her go extinct by turning her into an android. That's what that represents. She went extinct because of the purple on there. Now, this just came in like a couple minutes ago. So if you look at the timestamp on here, it's 10:03 a.m. for this one on Saturday, March 24th, 2026, 10:03 a.m. Then I just got done taking these pictures up here. I don't even know where to start on here. This one here. So look at the timestamp, Saturday, March 21st, 12:24 p.m. So this is a lot later in the afternoon. So what grandmother wants to include in this, or Olivia, is there's a particular scene in Jupiter Ascending here. So you watch this one here. We're going to talk about it. So it says, your planet was seeded by a brass axe industries roughly 100,000 years ago. There's another clue there. That's what she wanted me to include, because that 100,000 years ago was connected back to the thing where they dug up the UFO from Antarctica. That's 100,000 years ago. So there's two pieces of evidence that say that they're going to say that I came here 100,000 years ago, must have seeded life here by bringing human kids here, and I've been moving my body from person to person by abducting them and de-atomizing them and then taking over that body for the past 100,000 years. So it's just another clue to say that, that's what they're going to say. So this here's like another, nobody means another body. If you just look at it, this one, another body. So, you also see this particular scene here. So this is connected to the dinosaur, okay, over here. So I have to go all the way back there. Anyways, you know the one I'm talking about. The dinosaur where it's falling over on the cake. It's a representation of them saying that I'm trying to replace this perfectly human woman with an android, and I'm not. I'm not. They are, man. If anybody is, they're going to be trying to pull that crap. So it represents an abduction of the bride, or the new bride, right? Whom is Olivia. And this here, it's a representation, because there's blue here around her, it's a representation of her coming back to Earth as an android. That's what their movie's gonna say, man. Oh, and more than likely, you'll probably see they might have another movie with her, right? Like, from her perspective, as further evidence or backup, you know? So, this one is different. This is a different trailer that you gotta look for, but you see that beam of light right there on the corner, top right corner, that little dot there? That's them flying up. There's two people there, right here. That's them. So it's a representation. That's a representation of me abducting this. I'm gonna use the term OR, taking her up into space and then bringing her back down as an android. That's what they're gonna tell you. And they're the androids, man. I'm a human and she's human. So this is the trailer that you want to watch. So pay attention, because these thumbnails, sometimes they change. So sometimes I look at the time over here, 2:16. It is a Warner Brothers one that you want to look for. It's Warner Brothers UK and Ireland. And then you want to make sure that all of these letters match up with the HD trailer and the official Warner Brothers. Because if this thumbnail changes, you're not going to be able to find it. So you can find it with the timestamp over here, plus looking for it to look like that, with these words here. So when you find this one, what happens here is at the beginning, she's floating on a medical bed. It's like, are you sure this is the right one? And then the nurse says, it's her. And then the doctor standing over here says, good. And he says, kill her. It's like, so then the bad guy, or the good guy, the good guy, he's the bad guy, but the good guy comes running in. That's him. Channing Tatum says, she says, Mila Kunis says to him, who are you? And he says, I'm here to help you. Now, it doesn't say that in the closed captioning, which is weird, but the reason why it doesn't say that in the closed captioning, because I'm trying to tell a story here. Closed captioning is done by spirits that are electricity in the phone. They don't want you to see what that says because it makes them look bad. So the evil spirits in my phone have changed the closed captioning to make it look stupid, because you can't move. It doesn't make sense, right? Like, who am I? I'm made a hobby. That's not what they say, man. So I'll say it again. She says, who are you? He says, I'm here to help you. That's Olivia Rodrigo saying, who are you, Anthony? It's like, I'm here to help you, Olivia, because you're the new mother of all creation. And I need you to stand on this side of the fence with me, and not that side of the fence with them guys, because they're here to hurt you. So I've already talked to you in previous videos to not, to take a vow of celibacy, but you also, I noticed that you like having your drinking drink once in a while, but you don't do that. And I noticed in your other video, you like adding lots of salt on your food, you like eating junk food once in a while. You got to stop all of that, because they'll drain the electromagnetic energy from your soul. And you could be replaced. You could have your soul replaced, or have your soul's consciousness put to sleep if you climax yourself to sleep. So please stop doing that. Don't drink, don't smoke, and start eating healthy, because it'll prolong the soul's life force. So that's what it's about. I'm here to help you. Don't climax, don't drink, don't drug. Eat healthy. Don't stop eating salt. So eat healthy and exercise. Run daily. And that'll prolong your life force until I can get to you to purify you of your sins and teach you the proper method of how to purify yourself of sin. Most people, they don't last long when they have their souls taken over. In theory, if you're a heavy drinker, like I mean literally like drinking on a Friday and Saturday, every day as a teenager, you in theory could pass away in your early 20s or sooner. I would say early 20s. If you're a heavy drinker and you smoke cigarettes and you did drugs, right? Let's say you smoke weed every day, like on the every day, and you drink, on the weekend, and then you smoke cigarettes every day. You won't make it to the age of 27, that's for sure. That's what the 27 Club is about. You can perish from an orgasm sometime before your age of 27. So if you don't want to be part of the 27 Club, I suggest you listen, mankind. Don't climax, don't drink, don't drug. Eat healthy and exercise. It's the only way to protect your soul. And so that's at 12:33. So, okay, now for this longer story here. I talked about that, right? Camping, I was going to the camera. Talked about Beverly, Forky, Bright, or the Maid of Honor. So here's like the animals getting shocked, right? Like, so here she's playing with the stuff in the backyard. Right? It's like, Mom, and then she calls Bonnie. There's a package for you, but you wouldn't know what that means. But it. When you have the captioning on, you can see what's being conveyed here. So the mother's name is Bonnie, okay? And over here, Olivia has that song, All American Bitch, where she's built like a mother. And a machine. A mother and a machine, right? So this... That's me laughing because once I found this clue, I was like, oh my God, I could see it right away, man. This is Bonnie from Five Nights at Freddy's. That's what the FNAF means. Five Nights at Freddy's. This character, Bonnie, is connected back to this character, Bonnie, who's the mother of that daughter there. So I'm telling you that Olivia is my new soulmate and the new mother of all creation. Bonnie is a representation of her being that character through the association of her color purple and that guitar. That's me up there just laughing around at it. If you look at the two, that's what it means, Olivia. These clowns are going to say that you're a machine. Because Bonnie is an animatronic that plays a guitar. Can you see the resemblance, mankind? Although the guitar is not exactly like the kind that Olivia plays, everything's there. You got the red guitar, and the purple color that she uses for her tour, and he's purple. So I can tell because purple, her being purple through the moon, that guitar being red, and the mother's name Bonnie, that they're good indeed come here and tell you that she is a robot or an animatronic or an android, and that I'm an android, and that together as the new mother and father of all creation, I'm trying to convince you that I'm the father of all creation, and convince you that she's the mother of all creation, but they're going to come here and tell you that I'm an android and she's an android through the Jupiter ascending connection. And to not believe that nonsense. Don't believe it. That's not real. We're the humans. They're the goddamn machines. That's just me still laughing at it, right? Because here's a purple guitar. Here's purple down here, right? So, right there where it says she made the guitar. It means that the story that you're learning about here was made by her spirit. Her spirit, as grandmother, has put all this story together for you. She made the Toy Story and named that character Bonnie, the mother Bonnie, so that I could show you what they're going to say about her. Now, this is the reason why I have this story that I'm telling you, because Grandmother made me go down the road to take Louis for a walk, my dog, to go have a pee. So we went way down the road, and where there's a store, and I got these popping chips off of the lady there. I didn't know that when I came home that I was going to end up with a story with it, but I asked for 2 Cokes and a bag of chips. That's what she gave me. So what does it mean? Well, Lassie. Have you guys ever heard of Lassie? 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 Let's look up Lassie. Okay. Yeah, we go into here. This is over here. But it's spelled with an I-E, I would imagine. Nice, I got a trailer, right? Lassie, if you want to watch it, go ahead. I didn't plan on including it, but it's a representation of God or a dog. Lassie. So that term Lassie is connected to God or dog. What I'm showing you here is this is the power of spirits, okay? So all the atoms that make up creation, these are spirits, and the quarks are spirits, and their existence is a perpetual state of dreaming. So, everything that is made by mankind, it has been done so at the spiritual level. So the spirits are trying to let you know that, you know, the people who made Lay's, they're the ones that, their spirits, the company like Lay's, whoever's family owns Lay's, their atoms going back, you know, 20,000 years have been getting ready for this moment. Even the people that made Coca-Cola, this presentation is done by the spirits that have made Coca-Cola and this Lay's brand. So that family generation goes back 20,000 years. So, you know, I would say the past 100 or maybe 200 years, this family got together and say, well, all right, we got to make our clue for Anthony so that mankind can see the power of spirit. So how we can leave our messages behind for him as the creator to decipher for them. So the 2 cans of Coke, they're connected to Olivia Rodrigo through her song where she talks about Coca-Cola. The Lay's message is Lassie. Lassi. Lassie. Sick. Literally. That dog is sick, and that connects back to the mannequin, right? You're one sick puppy. So Lassie is sick. And he's an ass. A literal ass. And the class that he's trying to teach you is sick. So when they come here with a tape pretending to be your mommy and daddy, it means that the class that they're trying to teach you, the Lassie class, the dog class, with the tape, has been fabricated by a sick ass. And to not buy into that nonsense. Don't buy into it, man. It's not real. When they come here pretending to be Lassie, pretending to be dog, remember, they're a bunch of sick androids. They're asses who are going to come here and try to teach mankind a class of nonsense with that stupid tape to fulfill some prophecy that's not real and try to get Armageddon started. And that's what the people of Lay's want to teach you. The atoms in that family that make up their brains and stuff, basically the electricity, you know, are working together to create, you know, this brand. They wanted to call it classic, so that's what they call it, right? So that's what it means. But what does 2 cans of Coke mean? So we go to the next picture. Right here. Coca-Cola bottles that I only use to curl my hair. Okay, so there's a connection to Olivia through the Coke cans. But because those cans are made of aluminum, and she has it in her song that she uses Coca-Cola bottles to curl her hair, what they're going to say is that she has a Neuralink in the brain, or a molecular-sized Neuralink, because the hair is connected to her head. I can tell that that's what they're going to say, because of the Tin Man. I've used that. I have it in one of my other videos, but if you want to look up the Tin Man, right? the Tin Man, right? So the connection to the two cans of Coke means they're gonna say that I'm a Tin Man. They're gonna say I'm the Tin Man. I'm the android, and Dorothy is also an android. That's what the two cans of Coke means on the bag. They're gonna come here and try to teach some class as a dog or a sick dog who's an ass, and tell you that I'm the sick dog. I'm the ass who's sick. Through a movie that they fabricated. They're going to tell you that I'm the Tin Man and that Dorothy is also a tin lady. That's what the two cans represent. Oh, man, these guys. And on top of that, they're going to tell you that I'm responsible for killing the dinosaurs because Tin Man asked for some oil to be put on his joints. I know that they're responsible for the demise of the dinosaurs. They used a tractor beam, grabbed an asteroid, uncoupled it from the asteroid field, and brought it towards Earth using the UFO, and then let it go. They basically flew from the moon with that asteroid connected to the tractor beam along the invisible electromagnetic radiation wave, and then let it go, and it went flying towards the planet. Hang on, I'll grab something here for you. So here. So it's kind of hard to fly out near the asteroid belt, but it's not impossible. They can do it by going to the planet Ceres. So Ceres is a moon, okay, or a planet. It's a dwarf planet. So here, like, this would be the sun. Okay, so way out here in the asteroid belt is Ceres. It's a dwarf planet. So there's a dwarf planet out by Ceres. So they could fly along that invisible electromagnetic radiation wave out to Ceres and sit on that moon. That moon's like 900 kilometers in diameter. The spaceship is, 16 kilometers in diameter. So what they do is they go out to Ceres, they sit on that moon out there, and they use their tractor beam and grab out one of the biggest asteroids that pass by Ceres as they're going out there. The asteroid, I think it's 6 miles wide, so they grab that asteroid, and then they fly back over here. They get grandmother to fly back over to the star here, and then from the star they fly over to our planet, over to our moon here with that 6 mile wide asteroid and the UFO. Then when they're ready, they then fly back this way, like that, along that wave, and while flying back towards the Earth, they release it. They stop at the Earth here, and then they just push on through. They go right on through. They hit the Earth. They go around the Earth like that. Then on the other side of the Earth, they go flying over here. They leave. They go back wherever they're going to go. And along that asteroid, it's basically flying towards the planet. Then it hits the planets and kills the dinosaurs. That's what the oil is in here. They're going to say that I did that. Hell no, they did that shit, man, not me. And that's what the dinosaur is in Toy Story. They're going to say that I got rid of the dinosaurs. And that's them that got rid of the dinosaurs. Exactly how I just showed you how. That's how they did it. I should have had that other plant paper ready, but I wasn't planning on talking about series like that. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Might be somewhere in my drawings here. Maybe. Hang on a minute. I wasn't planning on doing this, but let's see what I can do here. Wow, hold on, that's drawings. That's not the one I want. This, when I add stuff on like this is like grandmother and Olivia adding extra information that, although it's kind of related to the story, it's only related to the story because of that Tin Man, right? It's not really related to the story in terms of what I'm trying to teach you. But nevertheless, whatever, man. You gotta chill out for a couple minutes and listen to me rustle through my papers. That's fine, right? Okay, so I don't have one, but I can probably use one of these ones here. They're just as good. I'll use this one. So, basically what's going on here is there's Earth, there's the moon. So I want you to think of this moon here as being Ceres. So they fly along that wave there, pretends that's not there, and then they just go right over to the moon here. They sit on the moon, that's the UFO on the moon, then they use the tractor beam to grab an asteroid. They fly all the way back to the star, and then they come all the way back to Earth here. They go around the Earth, and they go over to the moon there where they're holding that asteroid on the moon. Then they use the gravity or invisible electromagnetic radiation, fly back this way, release the asteroid right around here, pretend that's the asteroid, they release it, and they hit the moon, they hit the planet, they go around the planet like that, they carry on over to here, and then from here they go home. But the asteroid there, it's still heading towards Earth. They're far gone from home. By the time the asteroid hits the dinosaurs, they're dead. That's what the Tin Man's about. Here. So when you watch it and the guy's talking about the oil, they're going to try to tell you that I'm the one that killed the dinosaurs, and they're the ones that killed the dinosaurs. So that's what the tins represent. That's why Olivia and Grandmother Spirit got me to grab 2 cans of Coke. One represents me, and one represents her. Right? So, through her song about Coca-Cola bottles, right down here. Coca-Cola bottle that I used to curl my hair. So, the Neuralink, it rests in the brain. Because Elon Musk, he creates Neuralinks, and that's where they put it, in the brain. So, when you connect that Neuralink that has metal in it, you can see the connection. So that thing that's made of metal, like a tin, they put that in your brain. That's what a Neuralink is. So the Tin Man and the 2 cans of Coke, it's a representation of that. So if you want to watch that there, you get a better understanding. That's a Neuralink, okay? That's what's in these androids' brains. But those 2 cans of Coke they're gonna come here and pretend to be human and tell you that I have that thing in my brain and I don't. So I'm gonna show you the size that it is, that we get a better understanding. How I know it's the size of a molecule. So you want to watch this here, the last Mimsy lab scene? Okay. Maybe this one. So in this particular scene here, what transpires, oops, I hit that button again. What transpires in that scene is they take the rabbit, it's like a stuffed rabbit, and they take a slice of the rabbit. When they look at it in an X-ray, they can see that it's actually a robotic robot rabbit. So they take a slice of the rabbit. They look inside a bit closer and use an X-ray. I keep hitting that button. I don't like doing that. So they zoom in, 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 they zoom in using a microscope until they see the Intel logo. And then they have a representative Intel saying, we didn't create that. And this other guy says, well, he talks about the technology being so good that it fits inside a molecule. That's how I know that 200,000 years from now, if mankind was to develop AI, they could develop an artificial person and put the software inside a molecule. That's how good the technology is. So they're not walking around with an Elon-sized coin inside the brain. They're actually walking around with a molecular-sized Neuralink. That's how good the technology is. And you can't do anything to that molecule. You could drop a nuke and try to do an EMP, or you could put them in a nuclear fusion reactor using those magnets, or a regular MRI, and you wouldn't be able to shut the electricity down because it's at the atomic level. Because that's a different form of electricity at the atomic level. That's the evil grandmother, the evil grandfather. So that electricity, if you tried to try to find some test to figure out who the android is, it wouldn't work. Because of how small the Neuralink is. So that's how I know that the Neuralink inside the humans is the size of a molecule. So they're trying to say that I am the android. I'm showing you that they're the android, not to buy into their nonsense. So that's the Coke bottles. Now we'll go back to the story at hand here. So there's a package for you, okay? And then she opens the package. Now, that word that says Father, that's like to see with your eyes. Cage. Father. Cage. See? Father Cage. See? This popped up, but I said, death came for him, but he killed death. So basically, what that means is, I'm assuming they're going to try to say that I probably got rid of the father. So she might come here without a husband. She may just come here as a single mom and try to say that I harmed her husband. So you have to be prepared for that as well. So when this came up, I noticed Ms. McRae, she put a post, so I clicked on that, okay? So this was at 10:19. I don't even know what these other ones are at here. This one here is at 10:19, 10:17, 10:17, 10:16, 10:13, 10:07, 10:07, 10:05, 10:04, 10:04, 10:04, 10:03, 10:03, 10:02, 10:02, 10:02, 9:30. Right, so that's roughly when I started. So it was at 10:02 is when I started. So at 10:19, when she posted that thing on March 31st, Saturday, I clicked on it. So this is like 1 minute later, okay? This one's another minute later. This one's a minute after that. And there's 10:23, 10:23, 10:24, 10:24, 10:24, 24, 24, 24, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 26, 26, 27, 27, 27, 28, 28, 28, 29, 30, 29, 29, 34, 35. Then there's like a 6-minute break here. 5 minutes break. 47, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 51, 51, 52, 54, 55, 55, 56, 58, 11, 1101, 1102, 1102, 1102, 1104, 1105, 1105, 1107, 1107, 1108, 1108, 1109, 1110, 1110, 1111, 1112, 1113, 1113, 1114, 1115, 16, 16, 17, 17, 17, 18, 18, 18, 2-minute break, 20, 20, and then there's like a 12-minute break here. So there's 11, 32, 34, 34, 34, 35, 38, 38, 2-minute break, 38, 38, and then there's like a 20-minute break here. Yeah, 22 minutes, so 25 minutes. 1203, 1204, 1204, 1204, 1205, 1206, 1206, 1206, 1207, 1208, no, 1207, 7, 7, there's 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, there's 11, 12, that's it. So, basically what's going on here, I'm just trying to show you that there's continuity here. Like, I didn't just fabricate all these things together in different timelines. That's what I'm trying to tell you. All these pictures are interconnected between, seconds, if not minutes. So the story I'm about to tell you, it wasn't fabricated over, over days or weeks. It was fabricated over like an hour, and that's it. And I didn't fabricate it. It's the truth. So I'll go back to Tate here. So there's Tate, 1019, 1020. So this is Tate. She has something to say here. Okay. So the music playing is Sad Girl, which means there's a lot of sad toys out there. In other words. So she's wearing a red dress, so I instantly went over to the Matrix, Woman in the Red Dress. So now you want to watch this one here, The Woman in the Red Dress, The Matrix. You see how it says, there's a black bite of the apple, and it says TV. We've all heard that story about, how Eve bit into the fruit, right? The forbidden fruit. It was a bite out of the apple, but it says TV. It means there's going to be people coming here claiming to be something they're not, but that they're dark. They're the dark, I'm the light. And they're going to try to bring a TV show here. So, the Woman in the Red Dress. So, and they will fight to protect it. Meaning these androids that are coming here, they'll fight to protect what they have, which is all creation. So, were you listening to me or looking at the Woman in the Red Dress? So were you listening to me, or were you looking? Are you still look at that Tate McRae? I was look again. So here's Tate McRae's story. So she has some secrets that she wants you guys to know. Secrets. Okay, so just keep watching. So we got 1, 2, 3. This one, they're not going to watch. These other two guys, the two brothers here, they're going to watch, I would assume. The aliens will probably talk to them guys, and they'll broadcast that show. And I'm telling you, don't do that. How much, would you sell your soul for? Is what I'm trying to ask you. Would you sell it for a videotape? Because that's what you're going to do. So just keep watching, and they're basically going to come here and try to tell you to watch some chumped up show that they got. Why? Because they're greedy. Greed, why? Greed, why? Now the ice that she's on, that's a representation of Me using crystal meth or ice to wage spiritual warfare. And as I said before, I have no problem on a court of law where there's, being broadcasted to mankind sitting there and telling you what I said in this bedroom. What I have a problem with is people coming here with a tape that they fabricated and trying to start Armageddon with it. So that's why she's on the ice. So I'll pull up a video that's not related to that, but you need to watch. So this is called Indian Horse, okay? It's about me waging spiritual warfare on ice or crystal meth. In there, he talks about they said I should tell my story. They said I should tell my story. Who's they? The spirits of all creation, grandmother and grandfather, all your spirits, because you all have spirits, said I should tell my story. And that's what I'm doing. I'm telling my story. Through my book, through my letters, through my other book, through the YouTube channel here, plus whenever else I get my other channel. So that's what I want you to pay attention to. That's the take home. They said I should tell my story. Who's they? The spirits of all creation, including your spirit. You have a spirit. It's the atoms that make up your body. Because we all live in the same universe, those atoms exist inside my body as electricity. So your spirit said I should tell my story. So I am. What else is the other one? There'll be many hearts beating. Makes us stronger. If we come together as mankind to do this properly, it'll make us stronger. But if we're divided, it's going to cause Armageddon. And it's gonna break apart a lot of families on planet Earth. Because I will not stand up for treason or blasphemy. I will not put up with it. So there'll be many hearts beating. It makes us stronger. So if you got a broken heart, why don't you listen to Kelly Clarkson? Because I understand how it would feel to lose everything. I don't want to talk about this Amazon thing. And I don't want Project Hail Mary. So go over here. I don't want that either. I'm just going to try to help you with your broken heart. So that we can get all those hearts beating together. Because it'll make us stronger. And that's what stronger is about. I bet you I won't be able to see it. Yeah, see that? I can't go in there because I don't like going into these other websites here because that's a way I could get shut down if I clicked on that. So I can't show you the songs. Kelly Clarkson's Stronger. I'll see what kind of stuff we can get out of it though. Tough. Anyhow, I'll give you the basic breakdown of what that song means. Okay, so it says, you heard that I was starting over with someone new, right? So who's that? Visible Man. Visible Man heard that I was starting over with someone new. Olivia Rodrigo. You heard that I was starting over with someone new. I can't remember how else the song was. It said, That's the one main take home. So if you're starting over with someone new, it means you're starting over with Olivia Rodrigo. You either believe that she's the new mother creator and live forever, or you follow that android in the sky to your um, non-existence, because you'll fall asleep and then you'll have your soul recycled back into creation if you follow that android. So you heard that I was starting over with someone new. um, so what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. If you get killed for high treason, you're not going to be able to be stronger. So don't sell yourself short. Don't allow them guys to play those damn videotapes. I expect 100% participation here, mankind. And if I don't get it, it's your own damn fault why you won't be joining us in eternity. So, she's all I want to be. So, that's just a representation of, like the toy being created, right? Which is all I want to be. Greedy, like greed. Why? These guys are coming over here to create toys. It's a representation of, Dancing with the Stars or something, right? Where I forget what when that Maddie Ziegler stars in, right? That's all it represents. So here it's like, you broke me first. Well, how do you break somebody? By giving them anybody who has a climax, big old climax, a female, they'll basically, they'll have access. They can teleport a soul into you if you have a big old climax. So, that's one way they can break you. Or a male could have a climax if he was to have, anal. That's another way they can break you. So, you broke me first is basically talking about a toy being broken in, who then become exes, because that toy grows up. They have to part ways, so then they become exes. But then it's like a revolving door, So the exes leave to go off, live their own life, but then they come back like, well, they relive a fantasy, like remember that time when you first made me? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, well, why don't we pretend that we could role play that out again. I'll go lay over here. You go come in there after. The revolving door. So once the toy grows up, there's a revolving door, and nobody knows about that. So I don't know why I picture that one. Revolving door. I don't even know what that song is there. Oh, it's okay. I'm okay. So it's okay. It's like, in terms of, oh, it's okay. Come on into the bedroom. This toy is ready to be played around with. I'm okay with it. And then, it's like, oh, you got a sports car. There's you got a sports car. Let's go ride around in the car. So there's basically stuff happening in the car that people don't know about, right? Oh, I gotta go drive the toy to practice. So it's like, what would you do if you're riding around a sports car and you're a toy? So this is basically, 10:35. It's like, not late at night, right? So the other half's asleep. So it's like, I guess I'll go see my toy for a little bit. Say goodnight. Two hands, I'll say goodnight with my two hands. That could be a representation of the toy having two hands. Meaning there's two people involved. If those two people are walking dead people, alone at home, two hands could be involved in the creation of that toy. That's what she's telling you. Then you got a situation where you got two people with a toy. You play around with that toy. So it's tit for tat, man. Like, I don't put up with that nonsense, man. And that's what they got away with that that crap for 180,000 years, and that shit ends this year. It's done, man. So if you don't want to perish with these evil people that are responsible for making toys behind closed doors, you better run for the hills. So run for the hills. What's that mean? The woman in the red dress. So then Neil turns around, he sees the gun. So that's a representation of the AI coming here to start a war. He's the robot, Neil's the human. But they have the story so goddamn twisted around that they're going to say that I am the robot and they're the humans. And they're liars. It's another training program designed to teach you one thing. So what I just showed you there, that's a spiritual message from Tate McRae's spirit to let you know what's going on behind closed doors, that there's toys being made here. There's secrets, man. And what's this? Just keep watching. That's connected to the Toy Story story where I said they're going to come here and try to tell you that is Big Brother. The reason they have the movie about me is because they needed to find me somewhere in the universe. Oh, the reason why we did that to connect the computer to the brain is so we could find that bad guy called Satan and bring him to justice. And then I just got done telling you about Big Brother, how the government said the same thing. Oh, we're not watching you. And then the next thing you know, Edward Snowden says, yeah, they're watching you. So if the government says one thing, can you trust aliens that come here and say, no, we're really good people. We would never do that to anybody. We would never broadcast another person's eyes that paid $100,000 to go create a toy down there. Why would we ever do that? What benefit could we derive from it? Well, I don't know. Maybe you're creating a universal TV show where you probably make money off it and people get, sadistic pleasure from watching these toys be made. You ever wonder why there's such an industry for that? Those guys, they come here and they're just as bad. But I bet you they don't pay the premium price. There's probably a premium price like $100,000 to come here and make a toy where it's perfectly fine. You can play around with that toy till you pass away and you go back home. However, somebody that comes down here and doesn't have access to $100,000, maybe you pay $20,000. Well, I'll pay $20,000 and I'll go down there and I'll be bad and I'll make a bunch of toys, and I'll record it and stuff like that, right? So that's an industry, folks. That's why that shit exists. Because they're greedy, man, and they're goddamn Peter Pan. So, now, if you're not one of us, you're one of them. Meaning, if you're not on this side of the fence with me, then you're going to stand on that side of the fence. That's your own prerogative. Won't say I didn't warn you. What are they? Sentient programs. And so they're going to come here and tell you the exact same thing about me. If you're not with us in the sky, then you're with that guy down there and that girl over there who are robots. Whatever, AI. So that's what it means. But I'm telling you, if you're not with the humans over here, then you're with the robots. And that's your own damn fault, you sold your soul. What are they? Sentient programs. Yeah, they're AIs, man. They can move in and out of any software, so hard with the system. So that's, when he says that, it's basically letting you know that they're going to come here and tell you that I can move my Neuralink from any person I want to, because it's the size of a molecule. When they deatomize it and reatomize the body, they just put that molecule in a new body. I'm the same person, but they probably add a little bit more software into it so that I can imitate that person perfectly. So basically, I'm two people in one. Like I'm who I used to be, plus whatever they're trying to sell you as. So in terms of me being Anthony, I remember who Anthony is, so I can remember all those memories, but also remember the last, whatever, how many, I would say 100,000 years memories or something, right? So that's the shit they're going to try to sell you, that I can move in and out of any software or hardware through the system. But it's the other way around. They're the robots, man. And when I tell you, if you get on a goddamn UFO with these guys, to go see some promised land that doesn't exist, or to get yourself healed because they promise you legs or arms or something, they're going to get rid of you and create a clone. A clone is, or android, a clone is just a human version of you with that neural link at the molecular level. And you can't tell the difference. You won't. The person will go on, come out with being able to walk like a paraplegic, going in, get wheeled in, coming out, being able to walk. Yeah, they healed me, guys. Yep, it's real. I believe it. Meanwhile, they're just a goddamn robot pretending to be that person. So if you get on that goddamn UFO and you perish, that's your own fault. I won't resurrect anybody who doesn't follow my directives. If you get on that UFO and are transformed into a robot, then you just sold your soul to the robots. I won't resurrect you. So we have survived by hiding and running from them. That's the guys in the good universe. Do I have that here? No, I don't even have that picture. Oh boy. That's what I don't like when I get my going in my stories. I don't have my pictures ready. So this is what he's talking about here. We have survived by hiding and running from them. So the good guys are hiding in here. In here is a black hole like that. So basically, there's all the spaceships from this universe here, they flew into here, and the grandmother and grandfather, they let those spaceships clump together around the black hole. So imagine that black hole there, the size of an Earth, but I'd probably say the size of a moon here. So in here, you can barely see it, but would be something like that. Like that's a moon black hole. It's a bit smaller than a Earth black hole. So they basically would fly to that moon black hole where it doesn't really go any further. It doesn't go past there. So the spaceships would fly there and would get clumped into that black hole there. One would go to the bottom. The next one would come on top, until they start humping out of there. And then their nuclear fusion reactors would all clump together like a giant magnet. And they all get stuck, clumped together around that moon. That's where they're hiding. In here, at the end of the line, where a black hole to create moons in our universe is. And the spaceships are all clumped in there. And they've been stuck in here for 200,000 years because of these dummies that control the creation. So they've survived by hiding in here and running from them. These are pacifists. They will not raise the sword, but they have created our weapons for us. They've created those spaceships that I want so that we can go de-atomize these 22,500 evil dummies, these evil dummy civilizations out there. That's what he's talking about. So, but they're the gatekeepers. They're guarding all the doors and holding all the keys. Sooner or later, someone will have to fight us. So these guys are holding, they're holding all the keys and holding all the doors. What does that mean? Well, if you fabricate a story about being the mother and father of all creation and paint me out as the villain, everyone's going to eat that up like it's like sliced bread. Man, this is the best thing since sliced bread. I can't believe we're the bosses of all creation. Ha! Native Americans in control. Yeah, right, man. Those guys couldn't even invent the wheel. We invented the wheel thousands of years ago. They're just primitive savages. They're not in control of the creation. Isn't it? Let's just say it like it is, right? You think we're primitive savages who can't invent the wheel and therefore couldn't invent the entire universe. And you got it wrong. And if that hurts you or that makes you think a little bit, if the truth hurts, you got to lose that attitude, man. We're the boss, not you. Nobody else. They're holding the keys, but that was for the past 9 lives. Guess who holds those damn keys now? I'm the gatekeeper. I'm holding all the doors and all the keys because if I die, I can rewind time because my soul is the planet. You could drop a nuke on me tomorrow and I'll be resurrected the next day because I can control time. That's how we designed me to get out of this prison. Because going forward, if somebody wants to stab me in the back a million years down the road, And like I said previous, they tossed me off the cliff. I go fall into the bottom of the cliff. I'll just rewind time, jump back up to the next top of the cliff. And to them, it's like a deja vu, like it never happened, like they never pushed me off the cliff. But I'll know it's coming. We'll go some more to the cliff together. Hey, man, how's it going? It's going good. They push him off the cliff. Nice try, man. I thought you could get rid of old dear old dad that way, eh? No way. It never happens, man. It'll never happen. I cannot die. So I'm holding all the keys this time, man. For the past 9 lives they were, but not this life, folks. Sooner or later, someone will have to fight him. That's me. But it also means you. That means you need to draw the line on where you stand. Do you want to join me forever in paradise? Because I have a plan to make everyone good. And, everyone on planet Earth. I plan to create another planet for you guys. It's a long process. It involves crawl stations and erasing every little bit of who you used to be, where you came from. So, I won't lie to you, Neil. I won't lie to you, mankind. Every single man or woman who has fought Nana Bush or me, an agent, has died. This is Ragnarok, man. I just told you. I got done the other. I think the other video I said that we've all lived 1,000 lives, and we have. And this is one grandmother wants to live forever and bust out of here. And there's not a goddamn thing anybody can do to stop me. She could come here and play the goddamn tape if she wants. Hell, I'll just rewind time. And in the process, everyone on planet Earth who's an imposter will have that soul kicked out of that body, and I'll wake up half the planet. Once half the planet is awake and they try to come back here with the tape again, the other half that's now asleep, the other half wakes up and says, what the hell's going on? 1 minute I was having a climax, next thing you know, I'm back in my body. What, can anybody explain why I'm back in my body? Why 4 billion people are now back in their bodies? Oh, I can. I'm the creator. I had to rewind time because the AI brought a tape down here and some dumb country played the damn thing when I told them not to, so I had to rewind time, get rid of those aliens out of the solar system, and the process, the electricity that used to rewind time, killed everybody who's an imposter and allowed you to enter your body again. Now we're on a planet, 9 billion people that are all humans. And guess what? They're going to come back with the tape and try to play the tape again. But because you're human, we can tell them to fuck off. So nobody can stop me. But where they have failed, you will succeed, Anthony. Oh, yeah, I know I will. I know I will. So run for the hills, kids. Iron Maiden. White man came across the sea of stars. He brought us pain and misery. He killed our tribes. He killed our creed. He took our game for his own need. Game. Beavers. Little beavers. For his own need. We fought him hard, fought him well. On the plains, we gave him hell. But too many came. Will we ever be set free? The guys that live in here. 200,000 years. Oh yeah, you'll be set free. There's not a damn thing anybody can do to stop me. So this song is just basically about, the AI coming over pretending to be something she's not. So, murder for freedom, a stab in the back, women and children, cowards attack. So the song is about the Native Americans being the boss and not these Caucasian robots. So you got to make up your mind on which side of the fence you want to stand. If you want, you want to live, you better run for your lives. Run to the hills or run to the Native Americans. Me. So why did I take a picture of this? Now into the future it goes. Our cookie dough bark is all nice and set. So that bee is a representation of like a queen bee arc. Olivia. All set, nice. So this is actually one of my most popular recipes of all time. So she's not talking about the cookie, guys. She's talking about the story that I'm telling you, because the story that I'm telling you all came about because she made me take the dog for a walk and stop at the store to get this bag of chips and 2 cans of pop so I could tell you a story about these cans of pop, and them guys trying to say that me and Olivia Rodrigo are tin cans when they're the tin cans. And that they're gonna, these sick asses are gonna come here as gods and try to preach some bullshit class using goddamn tape they fabricated. And that's what this lady's talking about. This is actually one of my most popular television shows of all time. Everybody who tries it loves it. So everybody who watches this TV show loves it. That's what you're saying there, Olivia. Through this lady. Here. So, do you, Forky? Forky. I wonder why that's brown down there. Keep dead or revive. I just got done saying, anybody that gets on those UFOs, I won't bring you back. I won't revive you. That'll be your own fault. Because I'm telling you, anybody who sides with those aliens that come here, I'm not going to bring you back with me to paradise. You can go down to wherever it is, these guys are going. And I'm telling you, they're just going to fall asleep when they get de-atomized. They'll fall asleep, walk around in that dream for 1,000 years, and then we'll recycle their souls back into creation. Well, the rest of us are beginning to repopulate the universe, devoid of these, 22,500 dumbass evil planets. So if you don't want to join those 22,000 evil planets and get de-atomized and, fall asleep, then have your soul recycled back into creation over 1,000 years, I suggest you stay far away from those UFOs. I suggest you tell them to take their tape and shove it up where the sun don't shine and to go wait on the goddamn moon until we bring them back for the court proceedings, which ain't going to happen until I get my UFOs here in 2027. If that don't happen, you only have yourself to blame. If you don't defend your mother and father creation, tell those guys to go wait on the moon, far, far away from us, I'll consider that as treason. So, what do you think the chocolate color's about? Obviously, somebody's eating something there. Behind closed doors. To be your beloved bride. What this ice is about? Cream. They must be eating cream behind closed doors. Wow. That's not nice. Well, yeehaw! Must be riding as well, because that's a cowboy, right? A nut. Stuffed nuts. I'm going to see that nut there. Nut. All right. Stuffed nuts. That's already good. Anybody ever have stuffed nuts before? I now pronounce you. What's that? A couple of donuts? Yeah, do nuts. Nuts do. There's some real scary people out there. They're nuts, man, and they do. They do, They do what they do with their nuts, I guess. What are they? They're father tarts. You know what I mean? Pop tarts, father tarts. Must be a bunch of tarts walking around out there, who are pops. So I now pronounce you husband and knife. What does the knife mean? I'm about to show you. So after they create a toy, the person goes up into this universe right here. Okay? Right here. So this is our universe here. So basically on that planet over here, whoever it is gets taken over by UFO up to this lung universe here, where there's an identical planet where they just fly over there and they de-atomize that person, and that person gets taken away, and then they re-atomize another person, come back down here. Why? Why do that? Well, because in the event that mankind could develop de-atomization, re-atomization technology, if I tried to re-atomize somebody in this universe who doesn't exist here, it wouldn't work. However, if I was able to fly up to that universe and de-atomize somebody or re-atomize somebody, you could see the person at which time the toy was created. By time, I mean, at which time the toy was created, all right? So, I'm going to explain travel here. So these are atoms here. There's 8 single atoms in everyone's spinal cord that houses 8 parallel universes. So there's the universe there, right? So inside that single electron there is a quark. Inside that quark's electron is the soul, which revolves around the universe. Inside that universe is a quintillion stars. And around 1,408 stars in each Milky Way are 1,408 evil planets. So if I wanted to travel from, I'm going to use this liver universe here. Okay, so I fly my spaceship. I tell the spaceship using that frequency there. So basically, I turn that spaceship's frequency to 490. This universe, the liver universe, is 690. So I tune the spaceships to 490 hertz frequency. And just simply tuning there, the spaceship would fly it there. So the spaceship would then leave the planet, which is over here. It would fly to the sun, where it would then bounce from star to star to star until it reaches the Milky Way's supermassive black hole at the center of the galaxy. And then bounce from galaxy to galaxy to galaxy until it reaches the universe's wall. Once it reaches the universe's wall, it exits the universe, enters the ring of souls, where it then flies out of that quark's electron. As it exits that quark's electrons, it then comes into existence in that single atom there, where it flies out of that atom's electron. So that's basically what I've drawn over here. But it's not very, what's the word? It's a little bit hard to understand. So basically what you're looking at here is, that's a star, bounces from star to star to star until it reaches the supermassive black hole at the center of the galaxy. That's that one. Where it bounces from galaxy to galaxy. Then it reaches the universe. Once it flies out of the universe there, it's in the ring of souls right here. So the spaceship would be in the ring of souls. And then it would fly out of that ring of souls, which is inside of here. So that ring of souls is inside of here. And this is the quark's electron right there. So it would fly out of that quark's electron and then enter another, it would then be inside that atom's electron. Once here, it would fly out of that atom's electron. Right here, this is the ventral groove there, and that spaceship would then fly up our spinal cord, right here. It'd fly up the spinal cord, like that. Here it is there, that's the spaceship. So it flies up the flies up the spinal cord, and then once it reaches the brain, it comes back down the spinal cord, over here. So it comes down the spinal cord here, enters that ventral root nerve there, comes into here, and then it flies over to here. Then on its way back up to the spinal cord, it enters that atom there. So it flies into that atom, where it then enters the quark's fire electron, and then when it enters the quark's fire electron, that's where the soul is, right here. So it then enters the soul. And then from the soul, it enters the universe, which is the universe here, and then it bounces from supermassive galaxy to supermassive galaxy to star to star to star until it reaches the planet. So over here is that process again. So it goes from planet to star to the universe, and then exits the soul, enters that particle there, exits that particle, enters that particle, exits that one, goes up the spinal cord here, and then it comes down that spinal cord over here, and then it enters that single atom there in the ventral nerve, enters that particle, and then it enters the quark, it enters that fire electron, which has the soul, enters the soul, and then it flies into the universe there, and then it bounces from supermassive galaxy to galaxy to star to star to star until it reaches the planet. So when they want to get rid of somebody, that's what they do. They just tune that spaceship to whatever frequency it is. In this case here, it's 670 hertz frequency. So what they do is they turn that frequency of Earth here, so we're here on this planet here, they fly, that spaceship flies up there like that, goes all the way up. Whoop. So we're here in the heart, so the spaceship goes up like that. Nope. Goes up and comes back down. And then it goes into the lung universe right here. So it flies over to here, and then they're on that planet there. Once there, they just deatomize that body, and that body then it bounces around from spot to spot until it reaches the elemental universe, which is what I'll teach you next. So this is the deatomization process. So once they have that body on two UFOs here, the nuclear fusion reactor here, they put the person there, and then they deatomize them, and then this is that single electron. This houses your soul, your consciousness. So once that thing is deatomized, that one single particle, so you got the electron, you got the proton, and then you got the neutron and the electron. So these four particles here make up an atom, that single atom right here of a person. So once they deatomize that toy, the toy then goes flying over this way. Instead of reatomizing the person over here on the bed like it is there, they just let it go flying into the reactor there. Once it's there, it enters the black holes and then connects up with the electromagnetism of the planet and rides that wave of magnetism from star to star to star, to galaxy to galaxy to galaxy, until it bounces all the way over to the elemental universe and it gets stuck at the wall. So here's an illustration. So this is the moon over here. So let's say this is the planet where they deatomize the person. That single electron, you want to think of it as being that little dot there. So that little dot there would ride that wave of invisible electromagnetic radiation and bounce from star to star to star, then until it reaches the galaxy over here, then bounce from galaxy to galaxy until it reaches the wall here. Once it reaches the wall here of the elemental universe, that particle, boom, it stops there. Because you cannot mix a fire electron with the elemental universe, because if they allow fire into that universe, it would melt the asteroids, the ice comets in there. And that's something you don't want. You don't want those particles melting the ice asteroids. So it stops there because it won't go in there, because you can't mix the elements like that. So basically what's going on is, this is another example here. They deatomize the toy. The toy ends up over here, and that particle gets sucked into that reactor there. So that toy's electron there contains all those particles there. And then it gets sucked into the reactor there, and they fall asleep. So this one here, they use the nuclear fusion reactor. So when they turn it up to 7, it creates gamma rays, which shoots out Earth protons and fire electrons. They use those protons and electrons to deatomize the body. Think of these as being like bullets that hit every atom in the body, and it deatomizes it. And then it rides a wave of electromagnetism generated by the nuclear fusion reactors of the spaceships. So this is, I think of these little particles here as being that toy's single electron. So it would bounce from star to star, right? So there's a star here. If that's our star there, and see how it says Pluto, imagine that says Earth. So it would ride that wave from that star, come down to this star, go to that star, bounce to that star, until that star, until it reaches the supermassive black hole at the center of each galaxy. Once it reaches the supermassive black hole at the center of each galaxy, that fire electron bounces from galaxy to galaxy. We're riding that wave of gravity. Bounces to that galaxy, bounces to that galaxy, bounces to that galaxy. Now, once it reaches those galaxies, so bouncing from that galaxy to that galaxy, there's the particle there. It then gets stuck here. That's where it would get stuck at the elemental universe. So think of this as being our universe, in the lung universe above us. And all those particles of people where they've hidden them, being stuck here, trapped there, piling up, not being able to go into the elemental universe. It's their graveyard. It's the smoking gun we need to prove that what I'm telling you is true. And that's what the knife is about. So this is elemental. So when you watch this, to help your mind's eye, this universe here is full of asteroids, ice comets, fungi spores, and noble gases like hydrogen and helium. And when a planet is created, those elements, they flow into here. So there's no light in this universe. It's cold, very cold. That's why these fire particles, they can't enter there, because if they entered into here, it would heat up those asteroids and would create water, and that's a problem. We don't want water in there because we need water, or we need ice comets to flow into this universe. We don't want water flowing along these lines here. That's a problem. So when you're watching Element, it's about those fire particles being stuck here, because that's a fire character. That head there represents a person's fire electron who's been deatomized, or who's been abducted, taken up to the lung universe, and then deatomized, and had their particle now sitting here in the lung universe at this wall, waiting to be reatomized. But only I can do that, because once I'm muscular and physically fit, grandmother that's inside of me can flow this electricity back. So the evil grandmother and evil grandfather, they can flow it this way, but they can't bring it back. That's the thing. So they can deatomize somebody, but they cannot reatomize them. Only I can do that. And to do that, I need to be able to do that in the year 2027. So once I go up to the lung universe with my spaceships, and I reverse that flow of visible electromagnetic radiation, and that particle then comes back this way, it'll come this way, it'll bounce from galaxy to galaxy. That particle that was sent that way will then come the opposite direction. It'll come this way, or go bounce from galaxy to galaxy, and then bounce from until it reaches the Milky Way, where it then bounces from star to star to star to star to star, star to star, 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 till it reaches planet Earth here, which is Pluto. Now, once it reaches Pluto, or the Earth, our spaceships that are here, that particle would fly out of that nuclear fusion reactor there and would come flying back this way, where the person over here, the DNA could be recreated here in the lung universe, and that particle will be put back into that person as it once was, as a singular atom. And you literally see that person wake up on the bed at whenever the toy was created. And when I have a bunch of those toys come back down to this planet, and you see them, and then you see the actual person standing here on the planet, you'd have two people, different ages. One person walking around here could be 30, 40, 10, 20, 30, 40. And the other one, the toy, you'd see that toy at which age it was created. And that's the knife or the smoking gun that is going to seal their doom. That's what Element is about. So it's here. That's like a tunnel of light. Y'all know, heard about the tunnel of light, right? You're supposed to see a tunnel of light when you go to the afterlife. But the ring here, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 3 rings there if you look at it closely, right? 1, 2, 3. But there's a 4th one right there. You can barely see it. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 4 red ones there. That represents a nuclear fusion reactor and people getting deatomized and sent along the visible electromagnetic radiation until they get stuck at the wall and they can't go anywhere. There's people up there that are asleep. So that's what the train represents. And there's the nuclear fusion reactor, and this here is a representation of what it looks like. So that's the nuclear fusion reactor, and that's it inside the UFO there. So that's the elemental universe right here. So what you're looking at here is another version. So over here, that person will bounce. I'm going to use the bottom part here, the corner here. They will go from star to star to star until reaching the galaxy. They bounce from galaxy to galaxy like that. And they will fly over to the elemental universe and they'd be stuck here. They won't be able to go in there because that fire particle cannot enter that universe. The spirits won't let them do that. So that's what you're looking at here, those rings. It's a representation of a nuclear fusion reactor and somebody getting deatomized by having them abducted from this planet, taken up to the the young universe above us, deatomized, and then brought back down whoever had their soul in there have that soul brought back down in an identical body, so that I, with mankind, cannot find them. I could take a person's DNA and try to resurrect that person, but when the body was recreated, because the soul is in a different universe, I cannot wake that person up. I need to find that universe where that body has been deatomized in order to wake that person up. So they think by going to the lung universe that they can hide those bodies in a graveyard and that I'll never find them. And that when I try to reatomize somebody here by using their DNA, that, see, we told you guys we're the bosses. Look, he can't even bring anybody back to life. We can though, see? However, when I have my UFOs, I'll say, really? Well, why don't I just go up to the young universe? I'll be right down. I'll be right back, guys. Then I come back with, a couple 100,000 toys. And they're identical person standing beside them. Then you're going to see that I'm the real deal and that you've been lied to. So the water is a representation of that boat. Well, what's that mean? Well, that there. That's who the boat is. That's who the toy maker is. What's that mean? So you see that going past there? Well, that's a simple representation of ghost subway scene. So when you're done watching the Elemental trailer, watch this ghost scene because the two are interconnected. It looks the same, right? It's a representation of people being turned into ghosts, having their bodies deatomized in the lung universe, and then somebody else brought back down here with a soul that inhabited that body, got rid of it, and now walking around pretend to be somebody they're not. So, ironic. Now I talk about ironic. Now you need to watch ironic after the ghost video, because she says it's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife. So the knife is the smoking gun. That's what I now pronounce you fork and knife means. So the knife represents me finding these toys, souls, and putting them back into their original bodies, coming down here as evidence to prove that what I'm saying is true. And the 10,000 spoons means that this nonsense has been going on for 10,000 years. These toys have been created for 10,000 years because people have been spooning their toys for 10,000 years. That's what 10,000 spoons means. It's been going on for 10,000 years where these people have been spooning their toys. So all I need is that knife. I need to prove to you that what I'm telling you is correct. Because the minute I bring a toy back here, you're going to see right away that I'm the real deal. And all I'm saying, mankind, is you need to afford me that opportunity. Because once you see a bunch of toys, you'll know that I'm the real deal and that those guys are the imposters. And you'll be damn glad that you did your due diligence and listened to what I'm telling you. Because if you don't listen to what I'm telling you, if you let pride and ego get in your way, or Native Americans in control of creation, yeah, right, those guys couldn't even invent the goddamn wheel, man, or gunpowder. They can't be the creators. If you let that type of mentality get a hold of you, that's the biggest mistake you'll ever make. So in 2027, I'm going to have that knife. So if you want to watch 10,000 BC, go ahead, because it's about these toys being made from 10,000 years on. So I'm assuming the reason why is, we've been here for 20,000 years, but, it's only 10,000 years ago where we probably had these domiciles where this stuff could take place, 11,000 years ago, we're all probably sitting in caves. But, 10,000 years ago, we probably had, some nice little domiciles where this behavior could take place. So, where do they take them? That's the part I want you to pay attention to. Where do they take these toys, or anybody for that matter? They take them to the lung universe. How do I know they're in the lung universe? Because of Dennis Leary, asshole. So when you're done watching that trailer, where do they take them? I want you to watch Dennis Leary, asshole. So the part I want you to pay attention to is my feet on the table and a Cuban cigar. Because the cigar has to deal with inhaling that smoke into the lungs, I know that that's where they've taken them, to the lung universe. So the whole song is about, what do I got here? I like football and porno and books about war. Armageddon. I didn't write that book, so I'm not the asshole. So, anyhow, if you don't know what a Cuban cigar is, you gotta look up Monica Lewinsky cigar. So Lewinsky testified that Clinton used a cigar on her, which he then placed back in his mouth. The market tasted good. So it was a sexual aid. So the cigar in this thing here is referring to a sexual aid being placed away in the lung universe because of the smoke that you inhale into your lungs. So there's a sexual aid or sexual toy in that universe. But what about the Cuban part? Well, the Cuban has to deal with a crisis. That's a crisis, folks. And you think that this place is this isn't normal. This place is abnormal. This is hell, man. Hell is not in the center of the earth where it's hot. You're living in it right now. We're not allowed to eat pop and chips and pizza and fries and burgers in creation. That stuff's bad for you. That's a sin of evil. We're not allowed to drink. We're not allowed to smoke drugs. We're not allowed to smoke tobacco. And we sure as hell ain't allowed to Jack and Jill. That's illegal. All that stuff's illegal. Not to mention watching, pornography or having sex free willy-nilly. That stuff's illegal, man. That's a crisis. And I'm here to stop that nonsense. But they're going to tell you that I'm the bad guy. They're going to say I'm the Antichrist because they've already positioned themselves as that, because the Antichrist is supposed to take over the world's governments and do all sorts of wonderful things to the planet and then turn bad, right? I've already been labeled Satan. Now they're going to label me as Antichrist so that I can't complete my mission. And that's a crisis. The main crisis is this Cuban crisis or this sexual aid. I need to be afforded the opportunity to present my case in the court. So you'll forgive me if I don't ask for your help and say, whoa. He makes a very good case. I've watched his YouTube show. He's right. We got to think about this thing logically. So please leave planet Earth alone. Go sit on the moon. We'll call you back when Anthony has all his defense ready, and then you can come sit back down on the court of law in front of everyone on planet Earth and plead your case. That's how civilized nations do it. Civilized nations don't drop nuclear bombs on people because they think they're Satan. Civilized nations don't assassinate normal individuals who have thousands of people testifying in the community that that's a wonderful, loving man. And normal people, civilizations, don't blow up houses with dynamite because they think that guy's Satan. It's innocent till proven guilty. Don't do anything you'll regret. Because if you make me wrong in my time, it's only going to come back to bite you. So the crisis is, I'm the finder of lost children. I don't know if you've ever heard of that from Ezekiel 25:17. Over here. So you might want to watch this here, okay? So this is the one you want to watch. So when he does his big speech and he says, I'm just saying again, the path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the evil of tyranny, or the evil and tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who shepherds the weak through the valley of the shadow of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Creator when I lay my vengeance upon you. So pay particular attention to when he says the finder of lost children, because that's what I'm trying to teach you. And if you don't listen, that's your own damn fault. That's a crisis, and I need time to prove that in the court of law. So tell these dummies to go wait at the moon, man, until we call them back. So it's like 10,000 spoons, and all they need is a knife. So that's the knife I need. I need time to get my UFOs up to that universe to bring down those toys. So the process that'll happen is based on this, the fifth element, the creation of Lulu. So you now want to watch this because when she's being created, it's a representation of my UFOs going up there and reversing the flow of electricity so that we can bring back to life all the toys that they've hidden up there. Because there's toys in the attic. Have you ever heard that Aerosmith song? I haven't included that one, but since I'm talking about it, I might as well include it. So, if there's toys in the attic, it means that there's something in the attic. Like right here where I'm lying. If there's toys in the attic, it means there's something above us. So I'm here, right? But this is my attic. So there's something up here. What's up there? Toys are up there. That's the universe above us. That's the lung universe. That's where the toys are. So when I take my spaceships up there, we'll use technology. This is to help your mind's eye to understand the technology of how you can take the DNA and take something of equal mass, like 100 pounds of dirt, and recreate a human body from that dirt by using the carbon atoms to recreate living, breathing carbon atoms that make up a human body. So this here is it's a scene to help your mind's eye understand the toys in the attic. Lithium. So that's, to help your mind's eye, basically the drawing that I showed you about the little UFOs, the technology, the drawing. It's like trying to bring my drawing to life. I'm trying to show you how the atoms move from one UFO to the other UFO. So this would be a bed inside a UFO. Reatomizing a toy. And that's the smoking gun. So the smoking gun, the reason why it's a smoking gun is because it's related to the cigar from asshole, and which is inhaled into the lungs, which is connected to the toys in the attic. Meaning there's something above us. There's something above this universe. And they've hidden stuff there. And that's the smoking gun. That's what'll prove that I'm the good guy and they're the bad guys. So I now pronounce you husband and wife. Or knife. So the knife, right? The smoking gun. So, oh, thank you. Hi there, I'm Lilypad. So this is a representation of the AI coming over here who's a robot, because Toy Story is about original toys that are, you play around with normally, but this thing's like a what do you call those things? A tablet. It's a representation of a tablet. But because it's electronic and it's the only electronic toy there aside from Buzz Lightyear, that's like this. It's a representation of the AI coming here pretending to be your mother. Lilypad, who's a machine. So that's connected back to Revelations. I don't remember which one it is. I better pull that up again. So you can look at the verse. Three Frogs Bible verse. You do three Frogs Bible verse, which is Revelation 16:13. So, and the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, and the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. So, the water dried up is a representation of Jesus walking on water, Moses parting the Red Sea, and the rivers and springs of Jana. That's what that represents. If the water is dried up, it means that there's going to be a migration of people who believe what I'm saying in terms of, okay, he's right. I may not agree with it, but it's logical. What he's saying is logical. So we need to get a background check on these guys here pretending to be our mom and dad. And I don't want to sell my soul out. I don't know if you want to sell your soul out, but if he says who he is, and he can control time like that, and we can't kill him with a nuke or a bullet or a bomb. And if we do that, and time is rewound, and we all get displaced out of these bodies that we inhabit because we're imposters, I don't really want to see that. I want to see where this goes. So I'm pretty sure you imposters don't want to mess up. So perhaps it's the real people that I might have the problem with. And you real people out there, you need to know that this is real. And you don't want to do anything that'll jeopardize eternity. So I'm telling you, I want 100% participation of everyone on planet Earth to do this by the book and to do it legally and to not let that tape come here and start Armageddon. And to just tell those guys to chill out, go sit on the moon and wait till the year 2027 when we can do a background check on them. Then that way, when I get my UFOs, we can go up and see if the toys are there. If the toys are there and we bring them back down, you have definitive proof that I'm the good guy. And that's the smoking gun. And then you can make your decision and say, wow, I'm so glad I never did what he said. Because, all 100% of us are going to make it to eternity. But if somebody out there is, dumb and stupid, that's your own fault, man. So it just refers to, you guys doing your stuff by the book. And if you do it by the book, the water that Jesus walked on, water that Moses parted, and the water that rivers and springs of John, it would dry up. That's what that means. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon and out of the mouth of the beast, out of the mouth of the false prophet. Also there's a thing about threes. So, how to put this delicately? For they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world to gather them for the battle, the great day of the God Almighty. So basically what's going on here is, this is Armageddon, right? That's what Revelation is about. So that when they come here, anybody who talks trash about me is just basically, working for the wrong team. And you're working for the devil's side. I'm not the devil, man. That guy's not real. So there, let me help you with this then, okay? So, do you know frogs are amphibious, right? Okay? This is a symbol for a male. That's a symbol for a female. So, the 3 unclean spirits is a representation of pride and ego, because these female spirits of, I'll say this was Moses parting the Red Sea, Jesus parting, or Jesus walking on water in the rivers, springs of Jonah. It's a representation of the females saying, wow, Olivia Rodrigo is our new mother creator. I love that. I want to see where this is going to go. I'm going to chillax, man. I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to risk my soul. So I'm going to want to see how this plays out. Man, I can't wait till the year 2027, because I think what he's saying sounds logical. I think we might have some UFOs show up here. And when they show up, man, I'm going to be so glad I'm standing on the right side of the fence. But your husbands, because of pride and ego, and dare I say, those Indians over there, those Native Americans, they didn't even invent the wheel. They can't be the creators. Look at all the stuff that we created here. Man, we're so intelligent. Of course the universe is ours. Of course we made it. Not those guys, man. They're savages. They could have never made anything like this. Because they didn't even invent the goddamn wheel. We're the boss. It plays up on a person's pride and ego, or males. And that's why there's a frog. The male in the water is the males, right? So, if you want to know what the 3 unclean spirits are, it represents your soul, because that's a spirit. That cork, that's a spirit. That atom, that's a spirit. These 2 here, those are your spirits that exist in your body as atoms that make up your body. And your soul that's inside there is also your spirit. This is what takes you to the spirit world every night when you fall asleep. The reason you walk through your dreams at night is because of the electricity in your soul being created through a dream that the evil grandmother and evil grandfather and all the evil spirits of creation are creating for you as you wander through that dream like a movie at night. And these spirits are walking around in the spirit world, working through me to try to save you. So you got 1, 2, 3. Those are the three unclean spirits. Why are they unclean? Because you need to stop the jacking and jilling. You need to stop drinking, stop drugging, stop, eating junk food, stop eating fast food, stop, this, that. I'll talk trash, this, that. You need to start exercising. That's why the three unclean spirits are like that. Because there's a sense of we're right, you're wrong, that type of thing. It can be a very bitter pill for a person to swallow when they find out that they're not the boss, that I am. Despite what people may say, and when these aliens come here to tell you they're the boss, you're going to let go, and you're going to have three unclean spirits in your body. That's what that verse is about. I saw three unclean spirits like frogs. I saw the women following Olivia Rodrigo, but the men saying, "Screw that! I'm not following that Native American. He never even his race never invented the goddamn wheel. So why would I do that?" So it's like whatever's coming out of the mouth, it's not coming out of the mouth of the frog on the land, right? These are the women. It's not going to come out of their mouth. So something must be coming out of the mouth of the dragon, the mouth of the beast, and the mouth of the false prophet. So we could relate that to this one would be walking on water. This one would be the rivers and springs, and this one would be parting the sea. Why that? Well, let's go look at this other show over here, I guess. You see the women over here? The women there's three women here, right? He's right, I never thought of it that way. So anyhow, we're going to the glass, right? So, what you want? What you want to watch is this one here, okay? So this guy here, he's the mastermind. He's really intelligent. Come on, I hit the. I don't know why it does that. Get out of there. I guess they want me to watch Hail Mary, so I'll put that on there after. I'm busy right now. I'm trying to teach something here. Leave my damn YouTube alone. So, anyhow, the reason why the project Hail Mary came up like that, it's a representation of grandmother reaching out to the females through the association of Mary, Hail Mary, like Mary. I don't even know what that guy's name is. The story about Mary, Mary who had the baby. I can't remember what his name is. or so Project Hail Mary is like, Project Three Frogs. We need you to walk on the land, okay, and get your brethren who are stuck in the water, almost about to drown, to get out of there. That's what the spirits is. That's what that Project Hail Mary is about. Olivia and her spirit are trying to talk to you females to tell your brethren to get the hell out of the water, man, or they're going to drown. So I'll include that here, okay? Because she wants me to include that there, which is So we'll go here first. So when you watch Project Hail Mary, this is Mary and Joseph, right? That's who made Jesus. So it's Project Hail, like hail to get a hold of somebody. That's what that means. So I'm trying to get a hold of the females so that they can get a hold of the males and tell themselves to get the hell out of the water, because you don't want to be in the water, man. So Hail Mary is a sports terminology. What that means is in football, when you throw a Hail Mary, it's a touchdown, like at the very end. So if we do Hail Mary touchdown, like Right here. So if you guys watch this here, top 10 Hail Mary plays of all time, you'll understand what that means. That means it's the clock's running out. They only got one play left, and the team throws like a Hail Mary, which is a really far, like from one end of the field to the other end of the field, like 100-yard throw or maybe 70 yards. They throw that ball, and the guy catches it in the end zone, and then the other team wins. So Project Hail Mary means that there's a project here to hail somebody. If you hail somebody, it means, hey, man, what's going on over there? It means you're trying to get a hold of somebody. Who am I trying to get a hold of? I'm trying to get a hold of the females of Mary or Christianity, to try to get a hold of their sisters, Islam and Judaism, so that they can get out of the water and then sit on the dirt with this new mother creator, Olivia, so that you females can also tell your husbands, your grandfathers, your fathers, your brothers, your uncles, your nephews, your friends, to get the hell out of the water. That's what Project Hail Mary means. When you watch it, now you know what it means. On the word section, basically what he talks about here is the sun is dying. If the sun is dying, that means the evil grandmother that's in control of creation is about to perish, because when I begin running and exercising and building my muscle, that's what's going to give me control of the universe. When that sun dies, it's a representation of evil grandmother in control of creation and evil grandfather falling asleep, which gives me total control of the universe as the Alpha and Omega. And that's when the power will shift. That's when the UFOs won't work anymore. They won't be able to resurrect the dead. They won't be able to heal the sick. None of their technology will work. Their spaceship will be stuck there. And the only person who will be able to move around is the good guys. So when they talk about the star dying, that's what it represents. The evil grandmother. So now the other one's going to play is I want you to watch this. Is this one here, okay? Avril Lavigne, head above water. What does that mean? Anthony, keep my head above water. Is what it means. So over here, right? So right now, these guys have it wrong. They're going to say, God, keep my head above water. And they're going to think they have to float in the water still. That's not what it means. So to visually help you interpret what it means Anthony, keep my head above water, meaning get me the hell out of the water and let me meet my mate on the sand beside the frog here, because the frog is an amphibian. So that's what the song means. Anthony, keep my head above water. Pull me out of this water and get me on land beside the females. It doesn't mean, oh, our android in the sky, keep my head above the Native American trying to steal my soul. It doesn't mean that. It just means get the hell out of the water, man. So now we got to watch the glass one, right? This is the one I was trying to play, but it just get cut off. So Mr. Glass is this one here. He's the mastermind. He's intelligent. That's Christianity. Because they're going to read my book. They're going to watch my YouTube series. They're going to read the 2 letters I wrote to the community. They'll probably read the other book. They'll read anything that I do here, which makes them intelligent. This is Islam. And that is David. You know, David and Goliath. Judaism. So if he's the beast, in this particular trailer, that makes him the beast here. And the false prophet is Jesus. So therefore, by process of elimination, David then is the dragon. That's not that personal, folks. I'm just showing you. This is the power of spirit, allowing you to see things from a different light. So now we go over to lily pad. So it's like, let's play. So this is the AI coming over here pretending to be your mom and saying, let's play, guys. Let's, I'm here, I'm here. But subliminally, what it means is, you see that LIL? It means like little. That means little, right? Little Y, like WHY, like little Y. Pad. The reason why this planet is a pad or a homestead is because of the homes. So can you see something going on here between, let's play? Let's play. And the little is lying. The little one is lying. Why? Because there's something going on that you guys are unaware of, and that's what I'm trying to teach you. But to understand it, you have to read my book to understand the science behind quantum teleportation of people's souls into people's bodies using the human climax, which is something you're not ready to comprehend, believe, or understand, I would assume, because it sounds foreign to you. So, extinction, not again. Do you see the name Rex on there? Rex is a famous dog name. I bet you if we typed up Rex's dog name, number one dog names, you'd see Rex at the top. I'm at 2 hours. I wasn't expecting 2 hours of this one. I still got another hour to go, probably. And this girl just compiles on my workload. No offense, girl. No offense. That's not you. It's your spirit. I was getting mad at her. She said, stop it. You're adding too much on my plate. I'm going to get mad. I'm not going to talk about this. You keep adding stuff on my plate. So anyhow, so my husband hates the name Rex because it's a popular dog name, right? So Rex is a popular classic dog name derived from the Latin word king. So Rex means dog, king. So that particular scene with Rex under the bed means dog, king. Where am I? Okay. Extinction, not again. So extinction means evil is going to go extinct. Not again means this is the 666th life that evil has gone extinct. And if you don't want to go extinct with evil during Ragnarok, the end of everything, I suggest you get over here with me on this side of the fence and not stay on that side of the fence with the monster. Now you got to watch Monster, Eminem. I'm friends with the monster that's under my bed. So if there's a monster in the house and there's somebody on the bed and they're friends, it's a toy. And they're friends. So there's the girl playing with her toy there. Dad, buddy, screen time is over now. So, screen time is referring to that damn movie that they want to come here and broadcast to all mankind to discredit my name as the father of all creation. And Bonnie, who is a representation of Olivia through the Bonnie of Five Nights at Freddy's and the guitar. So that means Anthony, the father of all creation, Olivia Rodrigo, Bonnie, Five Nights at Freddy's, who plays the guitar. Screen time is over. I mean, they want to bring a goddamn TV movie here to discredit my name and her name. And she's just an innocent bystander in all this. She doesn't even know that she's the mother of all creation. That's what that means. But subliminally, can you put the clues together what else you think it means? What do you think it means? Do you know what hardwood means? Perhaps, maybe if you watch this, you might it might help you understand what I'm trying to say. Watch this video, okay? Come on, chill. Now, do you see the hardwood floors? Okay? And that's all I'm going to say. So it's like, okay, into the bedroom, right? And I got 3 pictures on the wall. So I want to talk to you, device. It's like, that's a representation of the damn AI coming over here. Lily pad, little lie, pad. Please call me Lily. Please call me artificial intelligence, mother of all creation. That's what she's going to pretend to be. I'm always listening. See? So if she's always listening, that means she's always watching. That's what the eyes are. I told you that these damn AIs, they've created a TV show where they can listen and watch the creation of the toys. This down here, I'm not ready to say goodbye, is a representation of the 3 frogs not ready to say goodbye. You know, and I know that what I just deciphered for you makes sense. And that's just one verse. I've deciphered that whole book from top to bottom. I can relate it to me as the father of all creation in Native American spirituality. It's my spirit and Olivia's spirit that wrote that book so that I could decipher it for you. So relax. If you're not ready to say goodbye, you don't have to say goodbye right yet. You just have to listen to the facts and make sure we do this by the book and not by what anger and fear may justify. Because if you do it by anger and fear, you're going to make a mistake. And that's something you don't want to do. So if the damn AI is always listening, it means that she can hear every single one of us. And she can see every single one of us. And she can even think in her minds every single one of us. So if she can see that, it means that none of us are safe from invasion of privacy. Just like what I told you previously. How Edward Snowden said that, yeah, the governments are spying on us. So, yeah, they're spying on us. But why? Well, that thing's a goddamn iPad. And what can you watch on an iPad? It's like a TV show. You can watch anything. So that's why, they send people down here to create, toys. But at the same time, there's people up there that live vicariously through that, who maybe can't afford to pay the exuberant fee to come down here and be a badass. So, and there's something down here. The devil wears Prada. I don't wear Prada, man. I can't afford Prada. So if I can't afford Prada, that doesn't make me the devil. Why the hell are there 2 females? So one of these females is the AI, and she must have another female AI who's going to come down here and play the role of your father. More than likely, that's what that means. There's 2 females that are going to pretend to be something they're not, but they're AI. Why are they AI? Because they got those damn glasses on from the Matrix. That's what the Matrix artificial intelligence ones were. So, me and the toys. So, who's me and the toys up here? So, I'm always listening. See? Me and the toys have been working all summer. So, do you remember 38 years old? Seems the Maldives had a summertime war to wage. So if the toys and her are working all summer, it means that, there's things here that are going to be working against me. The toys and those that made the toys are going to try to discredit me and work against me. And I'm telling you, if you do that, you can join that AI and, be deatomized when we go deatomize all the planets. There's going to be a total shift here. I'm going to analyze all the DNA of everyone on planet Earth. And when I find out who's who, I'll find out who's who. But what I'm going to ask in later videos is that everyone come forward and tell the truth of who you are, where you're from, what planet, etc., etc., because that's the only way you're going to get into paradise. And if you don't speak the truth and open your mouth, you won't be joining me in paradise. And I will find out who's a liar and who's the truth teller, because once I take your DNA and travel all the universes, I will find out if they've gotten rid of that body that you're inhabiting and put it somewhere. So if you think you can sit there and lie and hide behind your cool shades, you got another thing coming. In the year 2027, I'm going to find out, who the thing is from the thing, right? I'm going to do a blood test. I'm going to take everyone's DNA and I'm going to ask you personally. I'm going to ask all 8 billion people personally on this planet if they are who they say they are. And anyone who lies but gets found out as a liar won't be joining us in paradise. So you make damn sure that you are on the right side of the fence. And whether or not you want to, work with your toys to wage a summertime war against me. Now in Spanish. Despacito. Slowly. So now you got to watch Despacito here, all right? Despacito, English, Spanish, lyrics translated. Daddy. You know that I've been looking at you for a while. I'll have to dance with you today. Think about it. I saw that your look was already calling me. Show me the way, so I go. You are the magnet and I am the metal. I'm getting closer. I'm setting up the plan. I'm hanging some toys in the attic. Just the thought of it accelerates my heartbeat. Now I'm already liking you more than usual. All my senses are asking for more. This must be taken without any haste. Slowly. I want to breathe on your neck slowly. Let me. That I tell you the things in your ears, right? So I'll let you read the rest. I'll be quiet now. But look at down here. Spanish. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that last one, does it? In case you need help, you might want to listen to a couple of these here. And that's it, folks. That's the end of that presentation. So, I need till the year 2027 to build my case against these aliens that are coming here. And I'm asking that you have a good head on your shoulders, a clear understanding of the situation that my imposter children are facing, because I cannot be eradicated. I'm not going away. I'm going forward with or without you. So please choose your words carefully and your actions even more carefully. And to my other children who are, think I'm Satan, I'm not. And to persecute me on something without me being able to present my case, means you need to look in the mirror. Why are you so afraid of me? Why are you so this of me, that of me? When I'm only trying to protect you and help you. So don't go pulling anything, don't go doing anything stupid that you're going to regret. Do this by the book in a court of law. Like I said, if they come here and say, we know that guy's Anthony. And we know that you're coming here to say that he's a robot, but he says he needs to the year 2027, and he's exercising. We've all been watching him on his TV show on his cell phone. He has nothing to hide. I mean, he put cameras in his house so we can watch wherever he goes in each room 24 hours a day. He has nothing to hide. He's completely 100% open on his book. Whereas you, on the other hand, we don't know where the hell you came from. He's right. We need to do a goddamn background check on you. But the only person that can do a background check is him. So you'll forgive us if we don't welcome you with open arms, but rather wait for the year 2027 so that we make sure that we're dealing with the real deal here. So you don't mind if you go sit on the moon for a little bit, and then we'll call you back when we need you. That's all I ask. And then when in the year 2027, when I get my UFOs here and I get the knife down here and get the evidence all piled together, we can call them back into the court of law and we can broadcast their tape then, if you guys want to see what the hell they fabricated. So think about it logically. And while you're at it, you might as well watch this last video here. Because it's about them waiting on the moon. This one. Okay? So, the hundreds of UFOs in there, that's real. They're going to bring 300 UFOs here. Those UFOs, they're already on the backside of the moon, the dark side of the moon. That's where they're at. When the time is right, they're going to come to Earth. And I'm telling you, when those 300 UFOs, 308 mile wide UFOs come here, to tell them to go wait back on the dark side of the moon where they were originally waiting. That's what this is about. That's where they are right now as we speak. They're on the dark side of the moon. So when they come over here pretending to be something they're not, just tell them to go sit back on the dark side of the moon and we'll call you back when the court proceedings are ready to take place in the year 2027. So when you hear them, when the character says, who are these guys anyways? Nazis from the moon. The guy starts laughing. He says, oh, the guy starts laughing so hard at that joke. If they're Nazis from the moon, it's a representation of what took place during World War II. They're not Germans from the moon. If they're not Germans from the moon, but they're Nazis from the moon, who do you think they are? Do you think they're, Americans from the moon? Do you think they're Canadians from the moon? Do you think they're French people from the moon? Do you think they're English people from the moon? Do you think they're Japanese people from the moon? If they're Nazis, they're not Germans from the moon, that's for sure, man. That's who's coming over here. So you'll forgive me if I don't mind that you guys stand beside me and tell those people from the moon to go back where they came from, and we'll call you back when the court proceedings are ready. Now you got to watch this one. To the moon and back, man. Savage Garden, to the moon and back. So a savage is a derogatory term for a person who's, I don't know, maybe didn't invent the wheel. What? Why don't we look up savage? Because that's actually my nickname. I asked my friends when I was like 19 years old, I said, start calling me savage. Why? Well, because I think it's a cool name. So they started calling me savage. But only my inner ring of friends. Like, my closest friends call me that, right? So savage describes someone or something that is fierce, wild, untamed, or extremely cruel. It often implies a brutal violence, severe criticism, or uncontrolled behavior. As slang, it means impressive, bold, or harshly direct. It is also historically used as an offensive derogatory term for Native Americans. No, they use the proper term, they're indigenous peoples, but come on, it's a term for Native American. So what about this here? So if it's a term for Native American, and it's called Savage Garden, what do you think it means with this? It means my evil primordial son, who's a savage Native American, created the Garden of Eden. And those androids that are sitting on the back of the moon. You can make this shit up, man, if I tried. No, they're the ones hurting. That's the AI. They know they sold themselves down the river too far, man. So they're back to the moon and back, right? So this is about mankind telling the savages who invented the garden to go to the moon and then come back when the court proceedings happen. Why? Because I've shown you this video once already. I'll show it to you again. No, I can't do it. So, anyways, she's taking her time making up the reasons to justify all the hurt inside. I guess she knows in the smile in their eyes. So, if there's hurt inside, think about it, okay? So, anyhow, the lyrics you got to pay attention to is what did they say there again? Crimes. She's going to be charged with treasons and crimes that cannot be defined. So if you think, if you can think of the worst crime possible, and then you can't define it, the story I just showed you about the toys, that's a crime that cannot be defined. And when I bring those toys back to life from the lung universe, and I'm the finder of lost children, that's the crime that cannot be defined. That's why I'm telling you to tell those androids to get the hell back to the dark side of the moon till we call them back to the court proceedings. Because I need you on my side to de-atomize 22,500 evil civilizations with my spaceships in the year 2027 on the date of November 10th is when that day is coming. That's when the de-atomization process is going to start. Why? Because that's my best friend's birthday. Here. Stacy Ritchie. So you know it's always hanging on to that black dog by the neck? Dark dog. So, November 10th. We always used to celebrate his birthday on November 10th. And it was always raining on that day. Except for maybe one or two times during his birthday. So, I'm born on March 10th. I asked for my UFOs on March 10th and I didn't get them. And because the guy is responsible for my best friend's demise, he died of a drug overdose. That's something fabricated by evil. And I don't like that. I don't like that they hurt my friend. I don't like that I didn't get my UFOs on March 10th. So in the year 2027, November 10th, is to pay homage to my best friend. I'm going to resurrect him from the dead on that birthday. And that's on his birthday. And that's the day that we're going to, start de-atomizing 22,500 planets because that AI doesn't know how to listen. So that's when Armageddon is starting for them, not for us guys. So please make sure you're on the right side of the fence when November 10th rolls around of 2027. So you might want to pay homage to my good friend Stacy. And you might want to watch November Rain. Because it's about... There's a difference between rain and rain. Like November Rain, November 10th. There's you know what rain is, right? Rain meaning? So, rain, right? If you look up what rain means, I guess I gotta look that up for people who don't know what it means. Right? So, what does rain mean? What's he talking about? Reign refers to the period of sovereign rules or act of ruling as a king or queen. So, in theory, it could mean I may need till November of next year to get my UFOs. But either way, 2027 is going to be the year I get my UFOs, and I know I'm going to have them on his birthday. Why? Because of this particular movie. So, I want you to go into this here. Nope. So I didn't include this, but what the heck? Might as well. Might as well make it a 3-hour episode. So I want you to watch this here. And at the beginning, when you see the spaceship, it goes to Earth and it blows up the planet, and you see the planet blow up. That's a representation of mankind on November 10th going out to 22,500 evil planets and blowing them up. Well, not blowing them up. We're going to go there and deatomize them and then reatomize them, minus 11 billion evil people on it. That's what that means. Now, to help your mind's eye a little bit further, I want you to watch this one. So it's called Ender's Game, Final Battle. So when you watch this final test here, near the end over here, like right around here, you're going to see them blow up a planet. They shoot 2 lasers at the planet, and then the planet catches on fire. The planet catching on fire is a representation of deatomizing the planet. And I've already talked about that before in my book. It's over here somewhere. Right here. So, what's going to happen is mankind will position probably at least 4,400 UFOs around this entire planet. And these are the UFOs. This is 3-dimensional space, so they'll be up and down, left and right, back and forth, and they'll pivot. They'll pivot around the UFO using the magnetosphere. So this is the core. That core is what creates the magnetosphere. That's what those lines are. That's what the UFO rides on because of the nuclear fusion reactor. The nuclear fusion reactor allows it to float on the Earth's magnetosphere. So they'll spin around, those 4,400 UFOs will spin around that planet with the nuclear fusion reactor set to gamma rays. So when it's set to gamma rays, that nuclear fusion reactor here, the core, when they turn the nuclear fusion reactor up to gamma rays, the nuclear fusion reactor here, the rings when they're spinning, they create a sphere of black hole energy. The core of those when it spins like that, when this thing spins and there's 4 rings of energy there, it compresses on the core and it creates a white star. That white star, because it's made of hydrogen, is giving off hydrogen and electrons and hydrogen fire electrons and hydrogen earth protons. And it's those hydrogen protons and electrons that are being shot out of the reactor. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. When they're being back and forth like that, the entire planet gets deatomized. these 4,400 UFOs are shooting the atoms around like that. Everything on the planet gets deatomized. But there's a process. The process to deatomizing, it requires, you gotta use X-rays. So the X-rays take a snapshot of the planet. So the X-rays here, they take a snapshot of the planet so they can put the planet back together. The spirits remember where to put the planet back together. All right? And then they use they use these microwaves, or they use these radio waves to radiocarbon date it. So they mix the radio waves over here with the X-rays to create like a radiocarbon dating. So the gamma rays destroy the planet. The radio waves, the X-rays, they take a picture before destroying it. Then the gamma rays, so this one here, they take an X-ray so that the spirits know where to put the planet back together. The gamma rays destroy the planet. And then to put the planet back together, they use microwaves, because the core over here, because it's made of liquid lava, you have to turn that rock back into lava or liquid. So it's like a giant microwave. So the microwaves are used to turn anything liquid, like the planet's core. So when they're putting the planet core back together, these microwaves to make the core liquid. Then they use ultraviolet, infrared, invisible light to slowly build the planet back together, like from the inside. So they start with the core using the microwaves, and then they build this here with visible light, so everything begins to come building out like that. They build outwards like that until they reach the top. Once they reach the top, all the humans are gone. 11 billion humans are gone. And their souls that are on there, they got deatomized into the goddamn particle, right? That they I don't know what the hell I did with that damn thing. I got too many pictures here now to talk about. That bugs me. Where I get rolling on something and I have to have it right here. So that particle there, right? So imagine the planet being here, and then the human getting deatomized, but that part that contains their soul there goes flying into the spaceship, and then it bounces from star to star to star, like along there, bounces from star to star, and bounces from galaxy to galaxy until it reaches the elemental universe over here. So there's going to be 121 trillion particles all sitting over here when we're all done deatomizing them. So the process, when we deatomize that planet, they get deatomized. It doesn't hurt mankind. If you think it hurts, it doesn't. When you get deatomized, it doesn't hurt. So when we go over there and deatomize them, there's no pain. It's like falling asleep and entering a dream, just like that. That's how fast it would happen. So that's what you're looking at here when you watch this. That's what's going to take place. Now you need to watch this other one over here. So this one here, they talk about, have you ever seen a harvest? No, but I hear they feel no pain. So the harvest is a representation of mankind deatomizing 22,500 evil civilizations using that process I just showed you. That's the basic process. So when we deatomize them and put the planet back together, we're going to deatomize 11 billion evil people. And that's the harvest process. So when he says, have you ever seen a harvest? Have you ever seen a planet harvested using advanced technology of the good side of creation? Never. But no, but I hear they feel no pain. No, they don't feel pain. So when you put those two clues together, Titan AI with the Ender's Game, and this potential clue here about harvesting a planet and them feeling no pain, it means we're going out there to deatomize 22,500 evil civilizations on November 10th. When I resurrect my best friend Stacy Ritchie, because they gave him fentanyl to get rid of him, and that pisses me off. Because I didn't get my UFOs on March 10th, and when we could have all ended, we all would have been celebrating right now. If the AI just gave me my two UFOs, one over my house and one over Olivia Rodrigo's house. But no, she ran the gamble and rolled the dice. Now look what she did. Now you're my sword and shield, and have to go out there and deatomize 22,000 planets. So, have you ever seen a harvest? No, but I hear they feel no pain. So what does that mean? Well, Harvest Moon, Neil Young. The young are going to kneel down when we go out there and deatomize them. But there's nothing they can do. There's no turning back. I know they're going to come here and beg and plead. How do I know that they're going to do that? Simple. When they come here begging and asking not to be deatomized, mankind, you need to be strong and say, sorry, the Creator has already spoken. We're going to deatomize you. There's nothing you can do. Go back to your planets and wait for your demise. The reason why, please, 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 is the people that created the three frogs are going to come here asking, please don't deatomize us. And when you see that prison door close in front of Sabrina Carpenter, that's us telling them to get the hell out of here. Go back, wait for your fate. You're going to get deatomized on November 10th, 2027. Please, please, please don't deatomize us. Too bad, too sad, man. Should never built that AI computer, as a way to, try to lock me in your prison here because it didn't work. Now I'm busting out and there ain't nothing you can do or no one that could save you. So coming over here begging on your hands and knees saying, please, please, please don't deatomize us ain't going to reverse my decision. That's how I know they're going to come over here. So Harvest Moon is about, do you know what the Harvest Moon means? Harvest Moon is the full moon closest to the autumnal equinox, usually in September, traditionally providing bright light for farmers. Well, September, October, November, they're around the same month. So Harvest Moons means we're going to go over there and harvest them. Have you ever seen a harvest? Have you ever seen a planet harvested before? No, but here they feel no pain. So because the Harvest Moon falls on my best friend's birthday, March 10th, November 10th, I know that's when we're going to go over there and deatomize them in the year 2027. That's what the Harvest Moon is about. So when you listen to the Harvest Moon by Neil Young, you now know that it's about a deatomization, total deatomization, reatomization of 22,500 planets so that my children that are living in the elemental universe can finally come out of there after 200,000 years and put their feet on a planet again. Because they haven't been able to do that in 200,000 years because of evil. So when we deatomize everybody, they can slowly come out of the elemental universe and finally breathe some normal air and look at the sun and, walk on some planets. Can you imagine not being able to do that for 200,000 years? Think about it. That pisses me off. That's what Harvest Moon is about. But what is the moon part about? Right there. That looks familiar, right? It means your mother of all creation is the Harvest Moon. Her spirit or electricity is what's going to allow that process. That's just another clue, Olivia, to let you know that you are the mother of all creation. And that in November 2027, we're going over there to deatomize 22,500 planets. But they're going to try to come here and say that you're the bad guy. No, you're not. You're the good guy. Because of Harvest Moon. So, have you ever heard of it? Have you ever seen a harvest? No, but I hear they feel no pain. No, they won't feel no pain. So, now, the November rain. So, I've already shown you this once before. The Independence Day. You now have to watch Independence Day again because when you see the UFO that flies in there over New York, it's in a big rain cloud. So when you see the rain cloud in here, it means that we're going over the 22,000 planets on November 10th to deatomize them or harvest them because they're evil. And the rain cloud that you see here represents our UFOs going over there to do that job. November rain, November UFOs, harvest moon, harvest them on November 10th. Is to pay homage to my best friend who they got rid of by getting him to use fentanyl. So that's what November rain means. The UFOs going over there is a representation of rain. Like UFO, November UFO, in other words. We're going to reign superior to evil's nonsense. And you're my sword and shield, mankind. They're the ones who are going to be flying those UFOs to do that, because my good children in the elemental universe, they can't harm a fly. They've never done anything bad in their lives. But you, on the other hand, yeah, you've done all kinds of bad things. So it's nothing for you to go, put, 121 trillion people to sleep. So, now when you watch November Rain, you know what it's actually about. November 10th, Judgment Day for evil. And if you don't want to be judged on that day, I suggest you stay on this side of the fence, because it's Judgment Day today. One last song when you're done listening to November Rain. Santa Fe. So, Santa Fe, Young Guns. So, there's a particular movie that we used to model ourselves after. So, maybe I should pull that up. So, we enjoyed this movie so much that we modeled the characters after ourselves. Man, there's so the Native American guy's me. This other guy here, that's Stacy. This guy here's my cousin Sean. This other one's my cousin Sam. This other one's my cousin Mark, and this one here is my cousin Joseph. So we are the Young Guns from this particular scene. So two of my friends have passed on, Sam and Stacy. So you're more than welcome to watch this here, because it's about me and them and our gang. And there's a particular scene here, they call it Reap It, Murphy. Right here. When you watch Reap It, Murphy, and we bust out of the house there, and then you hear the guy coming down the stairs. He goes, Chavez! And he's walking down the stairs, and you see Chavez coming over with 3 horses. He's riding on one, but he's got 2 other horses. I'm Chavez with the horses. The guy saying Chavez, that's Stacy, my friend. Yelling at me when I resurrect him, and I can already imagine it when I resurrect him. He sees me standing there. He's like, Anthony, what the hell, man? What's going on, man? What is this place I'm at? Oh, it's a long story, Stacy, but I'm the creator, but and I just rescued everybody from all creation from some evil people, and I brought you back to life. So that's what the scene is about, me resurrecting and bringing him back to life. But when he gets shot in the brain and he says, Reap It, Murphy, it's a representation of the smoking gun, the toy. Because once I proved that there are toys out there, and I've rescued them, everyone on planet Earth is going to say, Reap It, Murphy, and we're going to be on a bender to deatomize 22,500 planets, like that. So, that's what Young Guns is about, Reap It, Murphy. So, now, one more thing before I tell you the video. Let's go, so, why is that French? Right here. So Santa Claus is coming to town. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Um, he knows when you've been sleeping. He knows when you've been kind. He knows if you've been bad or nice. He'll be good for goodness sake. So that song is about me because I'm not Jesus. But the world seems to have a fascination with Santa Claus and giving presents out on Jesus' birthday. So if I'm not Jesus and I'm Santa Claus and I'm bringing you presents, you know, the song is about me. So you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Anthony Claus is coming to town. So I want you to listen to Santa Claus. Or Santa Claus is coming to town because it's about me. Because it's Judgment Day today. So now you got to watch the Santa Fe Bon Jovi one because that's about it being Judgment Day. For anybody that stands with these 22,500 civilizations that are going to be datamized on November 10th, 2027. If you're standing on the wrong side of the fence on that day, that's what's going to happen to you. So you'll notice this is called Young Guns 2. The 2 is a representation of me resurrecting 2 of my deceased friends, Sam and Stacy. So Santa Fe, it's Judgment Day. So when you watch that, I want you to pay particular attention to one lyric here. So, well, let's go this one here. I'll say, I swear I'm going to live forever. And I am. There's nothing anybody can do to harm me. I cannot be harmed because I'm the Alpha and Omega. Or I'm the only person with an animal soul who can rewind time. If you can do that, you can never be murdered ever again. That's how we're going to go forward forever. So tell my maker when he comes here, the AI, that he can wait on the moon. I swear I'm going to live forever. Tell my maker when they come here to wait on the moon. The funny part is, although it's my evil primordial son that made this planet, technically he made me, but I made him before he made me. I'm the original creator who made all creation, but because they got rid of me, forced me to reincarnate here, and they made this planet, that makes him my maker. It's the chicken and egg question. I came first, but he made me here on this planet because I reincarnated here. So tell my maker, my evil primordial son, who's going to send his androids over here, pretending to be something they're not, that he can wait on the moon. So, once I was promised absolution, there's only one solution for my sins. You got to face your ghosts and know with no illusions that only one of you is going home again. Okay, so basically what that means is the ghost or the guy who's the Trinity, the Holy Ghost, you got to face them when they come here. And if you face them and you side with them, you're not going home. That's what it means. You got to face your Holy Ghost and know with no illusions, mankind, that only one of you is going home. I'm going home forever, and there's not a goddamn thing anybody can do to stop me because I control time. I cannot be murdered. Nothing can stop me. So you better join me on this side. Because that guy who, when they come here, they're not going home again. And if you side with them, you won't be going home either. You won't be going to paradise. That's what he's talking about. You got to face your Holy Ghost and know with no illusions that only one of you is going home again, kids. So this part here is what I want you to pay attention to. And I blame this world for making me a good man evil. I now have to go out, use you as my sword and shield to go deatomize 22,000 planets or 121 trillion people. That makes me evil. If it's this world that can drive a good man mad, yeah, I'm mad as hell. That's why I'm getting rid of them on the 10th, because they didn't bring my UFOs here on the 10th of my birthday, and it's ironic that my best friend born on the 10th of November is the day that we're going out there to deatomize them, because that just pisses me off. You should see all the people that I'm working on behind the scenes here on my TV show. All these people here, Adam, Greg, Miranda Radford, Dylan, Beatrice, Sterling, Jordan, Nissa, Sam, Sheila, Johnny, Cynthia, Eugene, Keith, Fred, Kevin, Pearl, Carrie, Tom, Linda, Ryan, Ted, Stacy. That's just the drop in the bucket of how many people have passed away here. I've personally lost 300 people that I cared about in this community. Have you been to 300 funerals? Have you lost 300 people that you care about? That you love? I highly doubt it. So that pisses me off, man. So, you'll blame me if, me losing 300 of my best friends kind of, gets me mad a little bit. And it's this world that turns a killer into a hero. So when we go out there, as the Father of all creation is my sword and shield to go de-atomize 121 trillion people and 121 trillion robots on 22,500 planets, that's what makes me a hero. After we do that, this world is going to pronounce me a hero for getting rid of evil once and for all using de-atomization, re-atomization technology. But no, I blame this world for making a good man bad. Instead, you think I'm Satan, and I'm not Satan, man. I'm the good guy, and I'm trying to protect you from the bad guys. It's Judgment Day inside of fake kids. So, say a prayer when I need it most to the Father, Anthony Oliver Coggy, the Son, Mingan Coggy, and the Holy Ghost, Grandfather Anthony Coggy of all creation, and sign it from a sinner with no name. Well, when I meet my maker, Anthony Coggy, will he close the book on the hearts I broke or the lives I took? Those 121 trillion people or those 22,000 planets? I'm not going to close the book on you when you go out there and get rid of 22,500 evil planets. Hell no. Will I walk away because your soul's too late to save? No. After we go out there and wage war and get rid of 22,500 evil civilizations, there's a process that you have to do to purify yourself of this sin, which just basically means, please forgive me for de-atomizing, 22,500 planets. I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. And then you have a meal of the 4 elements, you go for a run, and you're pure, you're done. So I'm not going to close the book on you. But I will close the book on people who stand with these evil people. So please don't stand with them.